We were listening with particular interest into what he had to say about Iran, given the recent firing of missiles this morning. He said there has never been a stronger international consensus on Iran than there is right now. Let's bring in our expert. Jim Walsh is an international security expert at MIT, and he also sat down to dinner with Iran's president last Thursday. Jim, good morning.
Good to see you, Allison.
Do you agree with Robert Gibbs that there is an international consensus? Are China and Russia really on board in terms of sanctions against Iran?
Well, I think there's certainly more agreement than there was prior to this revelation about a second uranium plant. So that has helped the president go in with a stronger group position going into these negotiations. But I also think that Gibbs is right to say sanctions are part of this, but at the end of the day, it's about transparency. Sanctions give a country a reason, an incentive to negotiate, but they're not going to be strong enough, no matter what the Russians and the Chinese agree to sort of cause Iran to lay over, to roll over and wave the white flag. They're too proud for that. What they can do, though, is give them an incentive to negotiate, and so that we can try to have more access, more transparency, more confidence in what's happening in Iran.
Okay, so about that transparency, Robert Gibbs just said that what Iran could do is they could immediately agree to unfettered access. You've just spoken to President Ahmadinejad. Is he going to go along with that?
Well, Ahmadinejad offered his own proposal, which at least gets to part of the transparency issue. He said he would be willing to allow meetings between Iranian nuclear engineers and scientists and those from the West. So that's one piece of the transparency equation that I think is actually pretty important, because it's not just facilities, it's personnel and it's technology. And so to have more interaction with those scientists, I think, would add a layer of transparency. But that will not be enough. Obviously, Iran has to open up that newly discovered uranium plant. I think they will. That's why they sent the letter to IAEA, because they knew they had to. And so I expect that the agency will be in there, and pretty soon we're going to get a report and find out exactly what's going on.
All right, let's hope you're right. Jim Walsh of MIT, thanks so much for your insight.